Welcome back to the Confessions Podcast, Season 2. This season, we embark on a profoundly important journey, one that brings to light the stories, struggles, and triumphs of Black women living with HIV. In a world where the numbers speak volumes, with thousands of new HIV infections among Black heterosexual and transgender women, it's crucial we listen, learn, and act. Black women's experiences in the HIV epidemic are not just statistics. They are tales of resilience, strength, and hope. This season is dedicated to uplifting their voices, shedding light on the disparities in healthcare, and exploring the courage it takes to live openly and authentically. Join us as we share the courageous stories of 6 women whose lives and experience offer insight, inspiration, and a call to action for all of us. Welcome to Confessions, Season 2.
I was born in Miami, Florida, and I was raised in South Florida. I'm 28. I was the oldest of 4, and I loved my siblings. They're like my babies. My parents got divorced when I was around 12. That divorce was toxic, and that was traumatic. I moved to San Diego in 2020. So I was living in Florida before then. I was living in Hawaii as well. So I was all over the place. I was like a traveler and like just very nomadic. Didn't have a home. So I was just like all over until I got here. And when I got here, that's when I got sober. And in 2021, I got sober. Yeah. And that was the same week that I got diagnosed with HIV, was the week that I got sober. I went to get a pregnancy test and the test was negative. But then she was like, oh, do you want to do the STD testing? I was like, yeah, I need to do that anyways. So I did that. And then she said, okay, so the HIV test is positive, the pregnancy test is negative, but don't worry because it's probably a false positive. That kept me going for the week. I had to wait a whole week for an appointment, looking up a lot of things on YouTube. I was just mentally preparing myself because I knew it deep down, but I just tried to hold on to their words. When they told me that it came back positive, I literally froze and everything was just, I was like, no, this didn't really happen. I was in denial. I think I just turned 25. I was like, no, this is not my reality because I have things to do. And the things I had to do, I had to move back to Hawaii. I had other plans, and this just stopped it all. It was my first week sober, so I definitely wanted to drink. I wanted at least some wine. I felt like, normal people can drink about this stuff. They can say, I'm going to have some wine. But I can't even do that because I'm an alcoholic. And I, almost died so many times from alcohol. So I didn't drink about it. I just smoked a lot of tobacco. And I ate a lot of junk food. I didn't do things that were self-love. I just stuffed myself with numbing products to help me cope while being sober. I have a metal rod in my leg because I got hit by a car. I got off the bus. I had just had 2 bottles of wine, I think, within an hour or 2 hours the most. And it was too much alcohol for such a short time. And I got off the bus, started walking. Normally, you get off the bus, you stop, you look left and right, and then you go, right? But I didn't do that. I just, based on what I was told, because I don't remember this either, the police had told me, yeah, you just walk. He's like, are you suicidal? You just walked in the street. You didn't even look. You didn't even look left or right. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir. I don't know. And I still didn't admit that I was an alcoholic because, again, I didn't even admit that to myself because I felt like if I claimed that, I believed that you are what you say you are. So I was like, I'm not going to say I'm an alcoholic because I'm not. I'm just struggling. But I was, struggling. And you would think that I would say, maybe I need to stop drinking. But I was like, I think I just need to stop drinking that much. I just need to drink half of that or a little less. So I was at the, as soon as I couldn't walk on my own for about 3 months. I had to use a walker a wheelchair first, then a walker, and then crutches. But as soon as I could crutch and use the crutches, I was starting back to the liquor store. Their first customer, very loyal customer. It was a lot. I didn't stop from that. I was just like, okay, I just need to drink less. My legs started healing, and then my partner at the time, it was just getting to the point where it was embarrassing for us. I was embarrassing him and myself. We had really great opportunities in front of us, great connections, and can literally take me where I was trying to go, my direction. And I ruined a lot of opportunities and I ruined a lot of those things. So that's what made me realize, because I wanted to be with him, and I was embarrassing us. Like it was not good. So I was like, if I want to be with him, I need to get help. So I did, and I'm grateful for that. We're not together anymore, but it's all good. It's all love, and he helped me basically to just get sober. He's like, I will support you to do this. I really want you to do this. And if you want me to be with you, you got to do this. Ultimately, it was still my choice. I did want to be with him. And I appreciated that he cared enough to even ask me and not just leave me. Like, he actually was like, let's get you help. So I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. I went to an outpatient rehabilitation. It was a 9-month program. It was about a 9-month program. I lived in sober living. Sober living helped me a lot. I was like, don't relapse, just keep going. And I did. So in January 2020, I think this is when I contracted it. But the person that I asked, he didn't admit, so I don't know. Because I got sick, and it was like really like a very intense fever and like cold symptoms. And COVID, it was 2020 in January. So COVID just started, but they tested me and I didn't have COVID. And she said she tested me for STDs. So I assumed that HIV was in it because I was always drunk. I don't remember like if I asked them. But I know that they probably were like, come back in 3 months or something. And I didn't do that. But I think if I did, I would have. I think that's when I contracted it, was that year. And I found out in 2021. And I had gone to AHF. It was like a clinic for HIV or for testing. So I've gone there before. So I told my mom in November of 2021, and she started crying. And I was like, I'm okay. I'm Haitian American, so everyone's in Miami. I'm all the way in San Diego. I told my siblings because I wanted them to be safe. I wanted them to know, like, this is real, because I didn't know anyone that was telling me. Again, you never know who has HIV around you. But I didn't know anyone who talked about it, so I definitely didn't think it was on my radar. I knew that I would be able to live if it was positive. I knew people live with HIV now. I didn't know about U=U, but I just knew that people were able to live with it. The first time that I did share it, I think I was rejected. Pretty sure, yeah. He'd never talked to me again, but you'll never know if it's because of that or just because we had just met. So I don't know if it was really rejection. And then I told someone else that was wanting to talk to me, and he embraced me, and he was the first person that I dated after having my diagnosis. I do feel like I settled with that relationship. I'm so used to that, settling for like what I think I'm worth. But I'm grateful for him as a friend, as far as friendships. We both were there for each other, and I saw that I was lovable still, and I was like, wow, I'm being loved. And so I do feel bad about that, because I feel like I knew that I wasn't in love with him, but I was so broken that I was like, well, you love me, then I'm gonna love you. But then when I loved myself, I realized the love for him was not there for the right reasons. So yeah, I've been on some dating sites. I've dated on a Positive Singles. It really helped me to get my confidence back. And I no longer really use that type of dating site, because I don't think I need to limit myself to only people that will accept me. I should be able to also date who I want to date. So I'm more in that space now, but it took me, almost 3 years. But in the beginning, I was sticking to dating on that positive dating site only. I'm sure people have their own opinions, but because when I do share, I present it in a certain way, it's kind of hard to have a bad reaction. I just tell them, like, yeah, I have HIV. This happened in 2021, or from what I know. And usually people are understanding, or like, they're like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't believe you just told me that. I think that the fear of like just sharing is that we think the reactions are going to be so bad, but it's not that bad. I just had a baby, and she's 8 months, and she's just amazing. She's HIV negative, of course, because I'm undetectable. So I cannot pass it to my baby, and I'm able to breastfeed her. It's just so amazing. I'm so grateful. It was not planned at all. It was just a one-time thing, and she was here, and I was like, oh my goodness, okay. I still didn't know if I wanted to live on earth that much longer, to be honest. I felt at least I had a choice. That's my choice. I can make that choice. I'm glad that she's here because I don't want that to be a choice, And I need to be here. I want to be here for myself, for her, for other people that live with HIV that don't want to live in their body anymore. Like, my body feels good to live in now. I realize I'm blessed to be in San Diego. I did understand why God put me in San Diego. I was supposed to be here somewhere else. And then I landed in San Diego and I did not understand why, but I understand why now because I would not have found out about my HIV. I wouldn't have got sober. So many things wouldn't have my baby. So many things had to happen. San Diego is where UCSD is, and they have treated me so good. Like, I feel almost normal. I'm part of an HIV positive breastfeeding group, and just hearing some of the women, they're not able to breastfeed because their doctors like pressuring them or tell them, okay, the baby needs to be on these 3 powerful, very strong medications when clearly they say that if the mother's undetectable, the baby does not need to take medication unless the woman is not undetectable. Not every doctor is for it, and is supportive and educated on like the updates. So I'm very grateful. When I found out I was pregnant, I was laughing uncontrollably. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's possible. I was laughing and then it started to turn into crying because I was like, wait, I need to breastfeed. Wait, I need to have a home birth. Are they going to let me do this? I realized I had to accept it was going to be a medical pregnancy, a quote unquote high risk pregnancy. And I said, well, I'm going to at least breastfeed. And the doctor was like, I don't recommend it, but the new guidelines do say to support the mother. So that's what we did. And they supported me. And they said, we're going to make sure you have a lactation consultant. So I had lactation support. I still have lactation support. I have support in all the ways as far as breastfeeding goes. This is the standard, unless there's like resistance or something else. So I'm on the typical medication that they will give a woman if she finds out she's pregnant, which is Descovy and Tivicay. So because of U equals U, it allows me to breastfeed my baby and feed her what is best for her specifically. She gets her blood taken once a month. We both do. The labs always look great, and I've been undetectable for almost 3 years. I take my medicine religiously in the morning. Steps I've taken to overcome the stigma of HIV is I talk about it with people. I always disclose my status, or I share my status. And I think that takes away, because if I put myself out there, then no one can say anything. It's not going to be fun to make fun of me or to be mean, because I'm not open for that. If you're in my life, they definitely have to know, because if they don't know, it's important for me to see how this person's going to react. I need to know, is this person, do they love me or do they not? So I make sure to tell people, and I think it helps me overcome the stigma, all of that. It just dissipates it. I think me being able to share my experience is an accomplishment, because where I was before was like literally like hiding my face. I've always been like a public person as far as like social media and like how I'm a yoga teacher. So I would get clients through Instagram and find different studios to work at through Instagram. A lot of my opportunities came through Instagram, through me sharing my current situation. And so when this happened, I did not do that. I like deleted my Instagram. I like disappeared, from everything. And so anyways, I've reactivated everything. And like I posted a video on YouTube the other day about it. So I'm talking about it more. And I feel worthy again of sharing on social media. Becoming a mother has made me more confident, and I have to tap into my power more constantly for her. Yeah, being her mom really helps me to overcome that. But also, even I have to give myself credit, because even before I had her, I was this way. So I want to be married, and I want to have a transparent, not open relationship, but a transparent relationship, open communication, whatever that means, I think just after a while of like constant things, they make you stronger. This is, I guess, the purpose of them, right? To be able to ask, like, what am I here to learn from this situation? Okay, this is in my life. Why? what am I here to learn from this? And I think that's what changed is instead of being like, why does this keep happening? Like, you keep punishing me over and over again, God, like, and being angry at God, all these things. Instead of that backfiring on me, because that's what it did, I just said, I'm just gonna see what is it to learn from this. And I think that in itself like transforms you. We're not perfect, and I can't let this trauma keep on holding me back. And like, I want to just be happy.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through Season 2 of the Confessions podcast. The stories shared by the brave women on our platform are more than just confessions. They are a beacon of hope, a call for understanding, and a plea for change. Until next time, take care and continue to listen, learn, and advocate for women. Stay brave, beautiful, and strong.